TradeTheMBI.com. This is John's report. Is for the 1st of February. Well, we went right back to that 4008 as expected, but then that caught plenty of interest. Shot right back up to the peak. So it was that was quite an interesting. Once you had shorts committed enough, they were able to just buy into that, and it just created a nice little push even further. We can see that we just aren't getting much from a short activity from the MBI white here. Mostly it was just the magenta, slight pivot down, so it was a weakness. But what was more significant is for the first time we have cyan popping back above red, which indicates that there is a significant activity of shorts actually taking place. But as long as you got that rising gold and the shakeout still positive, I think that supports will hold for the most part going through all of this back and forth. That's all it is. It's just too much uncertainty. But again, the opposite side trade is to the plus side, so that's getting the most attention, and that'll continue for a little bit. But I think that's part of what we can expect. Some of the gyrations that we're going to start seeing here building up as February moves along, and we start getting some degree of clarity as to how things are going to shake out, at least from a Fed standpoint and everything related to budgets and all of that. I think that a lot of this is really going to be uh, interrelated to government action and or inaction, but just typically when there's a split Congress, it's net bullish overall because nothing gets done, which is ideal because you can't get in the way if you're not able to do anything. From a Treasury standpoint, again, we're way up here in the weeds, given where yields are, relatively speaking. We've only talked about more of an acceleration of interest rates and the Fed not talking about easing at all. When we were back down in the 90 range, we're here at 107. Um, it just indicates there's still a lot of demand for treasuries and the safety aspect of it. And the euro, was great. Just saw an article yesterday. 40% of, in German factories have seen 40% increase in their costs, and the sustainability of that is like zero. And that's the number one economy, obviously, in the EU, but that's still driving price because they're going to tighten. How? Uh, it's not even a possibility. And nobody wants their special facilities that they're using to bail out Italy and the others. It's a financial just quagmire at best. Oil pushing back up towards 80 again. And again, as long as you're remaining in this between 70 80, it's not catastrophic. It's not great. Um, if the supply and all those other issues have been resolved and everything, there's just really no reason why this would be anywhere remotely near this. So there's still obviously some constrictions that are causing difficulties. And gold, we just figured it was going to come down, test that 76. It did that. It's back up there. But also, like the market, DOC seeing the cyan for the first time, breaking back above red after quite a nice run going through. But still, shakeout getting closer to breaking down. We just moved down towards the 6. That's a pretty significant decline from it without really much price action, which is interesting because it gives you a full reset and the opportunity for the shakeout to make its turnaround, which would create the next buy wave. Bitcoin still holding above that 22, and again, when you DOC red all the way up here over the plus 13, cyan isn't even close, so still within that, and that rising gold with the beautiful shakeout of the extreme here at 29. It's not sustainable. So at some point, that's going to start to fade back. The same here with the MBI, and then it resets. And if you still are above supports in that and you get your turnaround, that's going to create a nice bounce. And I would expect that one would take it back up over 30. ETH, likewise configuration, just a little bit weaker. When you look at it overall from a MBI standpoint, you have a bit more activation from the MBI weight on this one, and a little bit more mixed reaction within the DOC. It's been a little bit softer in general. which is interesting. More activity. Of course, I had charts for a moment, then don't. Then was trying to convert them to time charts, and it still didn't help any. So my ongoing issues with that, but I'm going to continue and I'll get it worked out because everything was fine just before this last update, and after that, it's been a problem just for the ticks. Everything else fine. Go figure. As always, though, I will update you on the Skype chat if I get any of those intraday charts up and ready to go. Have a good one. We'll talk later.